Hello, welcome to my playthrough of Doom 3, The Forgotten Realms. This is Map 1, The Remnants of Hell. Before I do the playthrough, I would like to read the description. After defeating the Icon of Sin, you began the long trek home. You encountered little resistance, since the forces of the enemy had been scattered. Upon emerging from the portal, finally back in your home city, you contacted the Earth Control in space. They were relieved to hear that you survived the ordeal, and ecstatic to find that there was nobody left on the Earth now except you. They began to transport people back to the surface. All the people everywhere helped rebuild your city, the principal target of the invasion. The starport was also rebuilt, although with much less cooperation between the individual nations. When all was said and done, you were hailed as a hero and given parades and cash donations from every country on Earth. Several of the world's most wealthy citizens also gave you their personal thanks in the form of more donations. You settled back to a life of luxury in your new estate. One day, you were reading the paper when a small article located on page 7 of the business section noted that the UAC had rebuilt their Phobos lab. The story reported that there were rumors that they were trying to reopen the portal to hell. Outraged that they would attempt to fix something you had so carefully destroyed, you called the UAC president and demanded an explanation. He asked you very politely to come down to his office. You slammed down the phone, screaming something about bureaucrats, and called for your limo. The driver, by now be able to recognize your mood, flirted and you arrived at the office in record time. You stormed through the hallways and past the secretary, throwing open the doors and demanding an explanation. The president calmly asked you to have a seat. You refused and grabbed the man by his prissy little necktie. The man, finally showing some emotion, namely fear, broke into a sweat and started explaining. The UAC had lost several men, taken as hostages, when the portal was first opened. They were now in the process of trying to get those men back. You slowly released his collar as you listened to the rest of his story. They assumed that there were approximately 15 scientists taken hostage. The UAC had been in on both of your debriefings, so they knew that you had never seen any of the hostages or their bodies. Then the president mentioned that they still needed someone to go through the portal in an attempt to locate the hostages. You had known that this was coming, but you wanted to deny it. The president looked you square in the eye and told you that UAC would sell off all of their holdings and give you the profits if you would do this. Dollar signs filled your eyes and you agreed to the deal. Later, at the real briefing, you reflected that this may have been a mistake, because the UAC scientists cannot tell you what to expect. They will be depositing you in the area where the Icon of Sin was located last time. They hope you will find some way into the deeper regions of hell from there. The UAC can only spare you with a pistol and a one-way radio, which they have been testing since the restoration of Earth was complete. This radio will enable you to make reports periodically, and will enable them to locate you after you have found the hostages. Then they will conduct a systematic beam out of all the hostages, ending with your removal. From the experiments they have done since the restoration, they have discovered that the teleporter beams actually take you through a dimension where distances are much shorter. They hope you will be able to use this information in locating the hostages. The scientists assume that you will be able to find stronger weapons within Hell, as you have on your last two encounters. One thing they do not seem to be concerned about, and you don't think of it either until you are stepping through the portal that will deposit you in the Icon's room. What kind of resistance will you encounter? After all, the invasion of Earth gave birth to several new creatures, most notably the Archvile. Who or what will meet you on the other side of this portal? But most importantly, will you have the ammo to frag it? And this is the description of the actual level. This level takes you into Doom 3, where you left off in Doom 2, in the Icon of Sin's room. Fortunately, he is already dead, so you have a fairly free ride through this level. I thought this would be a good transition, and besides, it fits with my story. So, I've heard that Doom is actually a large franchise, but there are many games. Have you ever played Doom 3? I heard it's so dark and scary. Let's check it out. As you can see, Doom 3 picks up where Doom 2 had left off. Let's check. The switch doesn't work. Let's take the elevator then. By the way, this VOD has a story. The story beats after each level I'm going to read at the end. The ending is very weird. Like, really weird. By the way, this VOD is only 11 maps long, and I have only played this map. I have not played even map 2. And that's it. As you can see, the name of the level at the end screen and in the text file is different. I don't know if it's the same for the rest of the maps, but we'll see. So stay tuned for the story bits at the end. See you later. The story of the first level is the following. You radio in after exiting the Icon's room and report that resistance is minimal so far. You hope it will stay that way.